Hey everybody, welcome back to I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills. I'm Slim
And this is Black.
and we are back. This is going to be our last one for the year 2023. So we didn't want the year to go by without giving y'all one last podcast for the year. So this is going to be a kind of a shorter one just to kind of catch y'all up on what we've been playing, how things are going for us, and different things like that. Um One of the things that I wanted to actually let y'all know though is that we got some gaming time on Gears of War and Black. So here's the funniest thing about it too. We started playing and we had forgotten where we were at. So we actually skipped over one of the most important parts of Gears of War 3. And being that this game has been out for so long, I'm gonna spoil it for y'all. However, I'm giving you time now. You might want to skip this podcast or at least skip over like about 5 minutes or so because we're about to talk about that and what happened, one of the most important parts. But starting off, Black, how was your holiday? What did you end up doing this holiday?
The holiday was pretty good. I didn't really do much. I didn't go out of town or anything like that.
Mhm.
Just used it for a lot of relaxed time. Had like 4 days, so I just
Yeah.
kind of relaxed. I played more Starfield. That's been the
Yeah.
main game. That's been the main game for forever. Along with some Cyberpunk and some Dead Space remake.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I just used it to game. You know.
Yeah, I want to get into that to Starfield with you as well. Um, but yeah, my holiday's been pretty much the same. I work for a school system, so we've got 2 weeks off, which is lovely. I'm like really relaxing. I did minimal cleaning around the house. Finally hung my TV in my den. That was dope. Played Starfield like crazy. There's some stuff on Starfield I want to talk to you about. um,
Yeah.
and like I said, for Christmas, my wife got me a drone. It's one of the lower end drones, but higher end. It's not like it's what I say like lower end. It's not one of those ones that are like over $100. This one was cheaper, but it's still really good. So I can't wait to get out in the field and try that out. It's got recording and stuff like that, and you record through the app and all that. So I can't wait to try that out because that thing is awesome. I love that. I was like, I have two different drones. I got like a little mini Batman one that's really dope.
Mm.
I can't remember who gave me that one. It was either Chris or it was my wife. I can't remember. But then I also have Call of Duty a couple years ago came out with a drone as part of one of their promotions, and I've got that Call of Duty drone too. And that drone
Oh
is
wow.
is is actually pretty dope too. However, the controller for that one is hard. The controller
Mm.
for the Batman drone that I have, the Batwing drone, that one is a lot easier because it has a camera on it afterwards. But I mean not afterwards, I'm sorry, but it has a camera on it as well. But the camera actually you view it afterwards. So I can't wait to try this drone where you can actually see the camera live. So but she
Mm.
also got me this Funko Pop. Let me show you this pop. Oh, and for those who don't know, who can't tell, we are still remote. However, we're actually using remote video right now. So she got me a Batman the animated series Funko Pop.
Oh yeah.
This was really dope. I really like this one. If you know anything about me, I love Batman. Well, the animated series is like one of my favorite genres. So I
Mhm.
mean, not when I say genre, sorry, it's one of my favorite Batman series, not genres.
Oh.
Just the way the style of everything was done. I actually have started watching it, and I got sidetracked because I've been watching Transformers and Thundercats, and I've been doing a lot of nostalgia watching, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a little bit of ADD moments when I jumped over to Transformers and Thundercats. So I'm gonna get back to it, but I've actually gotten to the point in Transformers where I got back to right after the movie. So it's the part in the series is right after the movie finished, and now they're talking about Rodimus Prime, and he's this commander and all that. So I'm getting close to actually finishing the series because it's like episode like 65, 67 or something. No, it's like 68 or something like that. Now is when they transfer over. It's closer to the 70s. So, um, but it still says season one in it. So, I'm gonna keep watching it. Thundercats. I've been pretty far in Thundercats. I haven't gotten to the second season yet, but I've gotten pretty far, and I can talk about that another podcast. So that's cool. But let's get into Gears of War. So, like I said, spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about a major part on Gears of War. So if you haven't played and you want to play and you don't want spoilers, then just give us a couple of minutes, give us about 5 minutes or so, and we'll go ahead and move on from there. All right. So starting now, Gears of War 3, Black. What's your thoughts on it so far? Where we're at, because we're getting close. We've gotten to the island, but we have to go back. We had to go back. So, what's your thoughts on it so far?
It's better than if you heard our podcast before, you know that I kind of like stopped when I first played it, with another buddy of ours, because I just didn't like the way it was going,
Hmm.
But since me and Chris has restarted it, and I've kind of given it some time, it's pretty impressive. There were a couple twists and turns that I had no idea what was going to happen,
Yeah,
and we're
yeah.
going to go over one of them soon.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So let's go ahead and jump right into that part, because that part was nuts, and that's one of the things that I was really hoping for you to see. Dom sacrificing himself. That
mm,
part, because when we accidentally jumped over it, I'm like, that's not right. Dom is gone already, and I was like,
yeah,
nah, we got to go back because you missed that major plot point.
yep,
Um, so in that part, um the gears were surrounded. They went into Dom's hometown, no, sorry, Maria's hometown, his
mhm,
late wife's hometown. um, and they prayed at a statue. Well, he prayed at a statue, just telling Maria that which is it's kind of like a lot of foreshadowing too. He was telling
mhm,
her that he left his tags on a statue in town, and just telling her he's sorry, and he'll be there with her soon enough or whatever. You know, and then the gears ended up being surrounded by Lambents and was it regular lambent? Was it lambents and locusts? Regular locusts? That's what they were
yeah,
surrounded by?
yeah, yep,
Okay.
Lambus and regular locust.
Yeah, so the gears ended up being surrounded by both, and they couldn't figure out what they'd do. Well, they were on this giant platform. It was like a gas platform, I believe, like
Mhm,
fuel station platform. And they found a way to get out, but they were still surrounded to where that if they kept trying to do that, then they would end up dying. Well,
mhm,
Dom was like, jump, get off. And he jumped in this rig. He jumped in this oil rig and takes off. And when you look and you're like, what the heck is he doing? Why is he leaving? So the whole time, Marcus Phoenix, he's like yelling, Dom, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Dom was like, jump, Marcus, get off, get off. As soon as he said that,
mhm,
that's when he's about to do
yep,
something wild.
mhm,
So tell me on your
mhm.
thoughts on that, what happened next, and kind of go ahead through the rest of that scene, and just tell me like your thoughts on that, how that played out for you.
It was unexpected because I mean, well, I knew we had talked about it before, and we had talked about skipping the part where he dies and all that stuff. But the fact that how he died and what he did,
Hmm.
I don't think Dom wanted to live. After his wife died, I didn't think he wanted to live very much longer anyway.
Oh no,
You
no, 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 no!
know,
I knew it was coming. I mean, you could actually
yeah,
see like his whole appearance change for the from the
yeah,
different games. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. He looked. Did he not look depressed?
yep.
Most of the time, he always had like a depressed look on his face. Like
Hmm.
like he almost didn't. He just what's the point?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
so I was just shocked he went out like that. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have figured. I would have figured. I mean, it was dramatic, heroic, and all that good stuff. But I mean, I just thought he would have went out in the final battle on part three. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he didn't last that long.
Yeah, and that's one of the sadder moments of Gears too, is him actually sacrificing himself because of the brotherhood that he and Marcus had, and how close they
Yep.
were, how tight they were. You know, it it almost like when you're playing it after that moment, it's almost like a hole is left. It's a weird feeling. Because then you got to play as this other dude. I think Jace is his name. I think his name was Jace. but the dude with the dreads,
Do it, cornrows.
cornrows. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, playing with him, it just felt like a little bit weird, with like a plot hole.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it because I don't know, man. You get so used to the cornerstone guys, like the guys that kind of like built you up the gears,
Hmm.
So when Dom goes, that's like Beard going away or the
Right.
Cold Child going away.
Yes. Yes.
Those are the key players. So you know it is what it is, but
Mhm.
I just felt like it just didn't feel right, and you could tell Marcus didn't want him to go.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
was like, "What you doing?"
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, even after he hit the platform and blew up, um, the the uh Marcus was trying to go back in the fire, man.
Yep. Yeah.
And he was really trying to get him. He was acting like the thing was on fire, and Marcus was like,
Hmm.
he was like, "God, I can go get him. I can get him." People were
Yeah.
trying to pull him back, and then finally exploded. And
Mhm.
I think that's when he realized once the platform exploded.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep.
and one more thing, before we move on from Gears, what do you think about so there's a middle section we haven't played yet, because there was that dude that we got to that point where we were in the sky in that one town, and Ice-T's character came into play. Um,
Oh yeah, that guy.
yeah, that guy, that was wild, like, especially how he ended up getting Dizzy, like, he had, Dizzy captured and all that. That was messed up. Dizzy is a great
Mm.
character, by the way. I love Dizzy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No doubt.
but what do you think, so since we ended up accidentally skipping that part, we ended up jumping over to the island area and to the submarine. What do you think about the submarine? Because that giant fish,
That joke was crazy. That was crazy. That
that's
giant fish chasing, yeah,
mhm,
going after you the whole time you underneath,
yeah.
man.
So that's one of my favorite things about Gears is the giant characters they have in Gears.
Mhm.
They have some amazingly large beasts that you have to fight, and
Mhm.
it is crazy just how detailed these things are, man. And you gotta like shoot the fish in the mouth at one point or whatever, and that was just
Mhm.
really nuts. So yeah, I can't wait till we go ahead and you actually see the other scenes there, because I think there's a part where we actually have to cross like a minefield or something like that. I can't remember for sure, but
Mm.
there's a couple things we have to do to get back to get the fuel back to that dude. So we're gonna have to schedule some time to play that. Um, and then we can jump back over to the island so we don't have to do the fish part of it again because the way we did that was all wrong. So, but once we get
Right.
back to the island, yeah, we're on the island, and after we get inside of the building inside the island to the building where
Mhm.
his father is at, you go up the building, get his father, you come down, you fight the queen, and then it's over. So, like I said, we don't have much time left to finish that game, but you know,
Mm.
yeah, that's gonna be really dope to play. So, all right. So moving on, it took us a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but that's okay. Moving on from Gears of War, Starfield. How far are you on Starfield right now?
Well, believe it or not, I've beaten the main quest already.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the main quest, the one where you're getting all the artifacts and stuff, you've gotten all
Mhm.
of them. Wow. Did you
Yeah.
get powers too? Have you done that whole thing where you get
Yeah, yeah,
powers?
yeah, yeah. Man,
Okay.
those powers ain't no joke.
Okay. All
I'm
right. All right.
trying to tell you.
All right. Don't spoil that for me
But
because literally
no,
I
no,
just got my
I'm gonna
first
tell you.
power last night.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, here's the beauty of Starfield. It's
Mhm.
like you don't have to play the main quest. You could do all this stuff on I mean, it's a Bethesda game, so
Mhm.
they're known for that.
Right.
Just for when you just start the game and you could just go everywhere else besides the main quest. So in my opinion, I beat it. I'm not gonna tell you anything about it,
Mhm.
but I ain't gonna tell you nothing about it. Just understand that I kind of like started my game all over. You
Yeah.
know, I started my game all over only because I didn't like my playthrough the first time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't understand the mechanics of it. There's a lot of stuff you have to learn in
Mhm.
Starfield.
Mhm.
And then when you actually learning, you're like, oh man, I wish I would have did it back when I was right here. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that.
So,
And
yeah, so sorry to interrupt on that part, but
no, no, you're
I'm
fine.
feeling you right there because for that Crimson Fleet, that part
Mhm.
of it, that's one of the things, the side missions that I did that kinda took me away from the main mission. I really wish that I had did more things and I knew more about some of that parts in there, so
Yep.
I could have actually taken out more of the captains ahead of time before the fight.
Mhm.
So now I'm
That's
at the
right.
point where I'm trying to fight them, and there's, like, a crap ton of captains, that are shooting at me, and I think only, like,
Yeah.
1 or 2 of them have been arrested.
Yeah. Yeah. So that tells you everything you need to know right there. Like when I say, man, I wish I would have, because when I say that Crimson Fleet flight fight, it
Mhm.
took me forever. And I had to go back. I had to stop because I was so frustrated.
I did it,
I
yep.
had to stop because I was like, man, I'm just not strong enough, and my ship is not strong enough. I don't have enough shields. My weapons are not doing enough damage to them where I can kill each captain quick. You
Mhm.
know, and I said, I just got to go back, and it took me a long time. I said, I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. Took
Right.
me a long time before I decided to go back. And once I went back, I was like, yeah, now they finna get it. So I was, you know, and I beat it within like 2 tries when I
Yeah.
went back.
Okay, okay, yeah. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to build my skill points so I can update my shields and my weapons,
Mhm.
and I'm doing other story missions. My character actually got married, which was funny. Um, and
I ain't done that yet.
yeah.
I, I don't even know how to do that, to be honest with
You so it happened by accident for me because I wanted to see what would happen,
you.
but also because I was pissing off the character that was with me, Sarah Morgan. I
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
pissing her off.
yeah,
So I ended up going through and I ended up killing a whole bunch of people that were innocent.
yeah.
So so every time I tried to get her to help me do something, she was pissed off the whole time and she was talking all this junk. So I was like, "Oh, well, what if I keep using persuasion? You know how you can use the whole persuasion stuff to actually
Yep.
like make them
Mhm.
like you a little bit better." And then she
Yep.
started really liking me. So then I was just like, "Oh, I wonder what happens if you flirt." And then, it just went from there. So I think that
Mhm.
was pretty funny
Yeah.
though. So, um, but I can't wait to see how things turn out now from these other side quests, because there's a couple other side quests that are actually really interesting, and I can't wait to finish the Crimson Fleet thing. I actually got the penthouse apartment, and I started putting in like crates and stuff, and I've
Yeah.
got the little plaque so I can put on specialized guns that you got, because the keel hauler that what's his name?
Diago.
Yeah, Delgado. I think it's Delgado.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so
I
the
said
the keel
Diago.
hauler that Delgado, yeah,
Delgado.
that
Yeah.
Delgado gives you, and then I also have this other assassin's pistol. The very first one that right when you take out off, or the very first place you land, one of the first places you go. That you
Mhm.
you take out an assassin. I got an assassin's pistol, so I'm gonna get those and put those on my wall in my penthouse. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I did, however, get this other game. Have you ever heard of Baldur's Gate?
Yes. Yes.
Did you
Yes.
play it?
Baldur's Gate 3 is they I believe Baldur's Gate won game of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I've got
It's good.
Baldur's Gate 3. My future son-in-law actually got me Baldur's Gate 3. That game is amazing, man. And so, I've talked about, I don't know how much I've talked about it on this. I can't remember. But I did start playing D&D. I play online and I play in person. And Um, so my son-in-law, he's also gonna play my in-person campaign with me. And well, future son-in-law, but he he loves D&D too, and he actually plays Baldur's Gate before, and he got it for himself. So for Christmas, he bought the game for me, and we've been playing. That game is amazing. It is like a mix of it's got this weird mix of Resident Evil with D&D in it, and just
Mm,
some of the stuff that happens is just amazing, it's crazy. So,
yeah.
yeah, if you I don't know, have you ever played it?
I saw it. I don't like. I'm not really big into like that game.
Turn-based?
Sort of has the same kind of like makeup and the view style of Diablo 4.
Mhm, mhm.
Have you ever heard Diablo 4
I've heard of
or
Diablos,
Diablo?
yeah, mhm,
Yeah, Diablo. Yeah, those are kind of like a Baldur's Gate, sort of like a mouse click game.
mhm,
You know,
yeah,
it's more of like
turn-based.
it's extremely popular with PC.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I mean, the fact that they brought it to console is pretty cool. But Baldur's Gate ain't really my type of
Okay,
game.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting for me. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it, and I can't wait to see how this campaign goes. Just the different things that happen on it so far, and there's even a situation this to show how you can actually differentiate between the things. Um, we ended up doing things where we ended up kind of dying, whatever. So we had to reload the game. Well,
Mm,
first my character went into this place, and I was attacked by a whole bunch of goblins. And,
mm.
my character's like an elf and some other stuff like that, right? Goblins attacked us, they're fighting us, this and that, whatever, whatever. Right? We ended up dying, and we had to reload the game. Well, I reloaded the game and I sent his character in first. Well, his character actually went in by accident. We weren't supposed to go in at all, but his character went in accident. Because of the way his character's the drow. And
Mm.
because of his character, they actually saw his character and the goblins freaked out and they was like, "No, please don't hurt us, sir. Please don't hurt us." They was actually afraid of his character. And
Oh
that got
wow.
us to actually go in without a fight. And that, they're all afraid of him. So we fought this giant spider. Dude, the spider gave me creeps the whole night. It was massive. It 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 was
Mm.
like the fish from Gears, but spider form. It's like a corpser. The
Oh.
same size as almost, well, no, actually it was actually smaller than a corpser, so I can't really say that.
Mm.
So yeah, that spider was massive. So, but
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate, go ahead.
Well, not to cut you off, but
Mhm,
I watched on YouTube because I heard so much about Baldur's Gate 3. I
mhm,
wanted to see what all the talk was about. So I loaded a quick playthrough.
mhm,
Watch somebody stream.
mhm.
They did the introductory and all that stuff. I know it starts out disgusting, very disgusting, because that thing is putting stuff in their eye or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
thing, the mind flayer, it turns them into mind
yeah.
flayers. So
Also,
yeah.
that's what that thing is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was that thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was like, and then dragons attack the mind flayer ship and
Yep.
whatnot.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I like the way it starts off.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So the
like,
story's dope. But I
yeah,
can
the
see
story,
I can
story
see
looks like
the
it's
the
pretty good.
gameplay being, kind of annoying for you. Yeah, I can see that. Cuz
Mm.
then when you're waiting for your turn, it's kind of annoying cuz you want to do something, right away and you can't.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's still a really, really, really good game. It's just not my type of game.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see where our campaign goes cuz we got a lot more to do. We literally just started our campaign this week. So, we hadn't had
Mm.
a lot of playthrough time. We probably had a total of 7 hours of playthrough and for certain games that's nothing. 7 hours ain't nothing.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, Starfield one of them games.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just don't matter how. I mean, I could put 2 hours, I could put an hour into just building a ship that I want. You
Dude,
know, so
dude,
it's
I
crazy.
yeah, so I put in so much time just trying to get things into that apartment when I got the penthouse. It was just
Yeah,
it was that took a lot of time doing that. I
yeah,
haven't even done the
exactly,
ship. So I've
exactly.
captured 2 ships by the way too. So,
Mm. Oh yeah, that's
just
that's that's pretty funny that
yeah,
you mentioned that.
yeah,
That's pretty funny because if you see, because they try to take off before you can get their ship,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and if you don't go up there in their ship in time, they
mhm,
they will take off on you.
yeah,
So you got to make sure you kill them before they take off.
yeah. It's so funny you mentioned that about the ship because so the first time I captured a ship, I was um I was actually on the ground on a planet. I was doing some other kind of task and I was supposed to go to this place. I forgot what the name of the place was, whatever. But I saw these
Mm.
people land and they landed right by me and they were spacers. And so
Yep.
I was like, I'm gonna see if I can go up on their ship. And I went up on their ship and then it actually gave me the option to go inside. And I went inside and then, they were
Yep.
attacking me. So I was like, all right, I'll just attack them. And I just took out their ship, right? So I took out their ship, and not took out the ship, but I took all of them out and I took their ship, and that made it my home ship. Well, I'm
Mm.
on that ship, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get my ship back, the Frontier back, because
Mm.
actually I upgraded the Frontier to a point where it's got all this other stuff on there, and it has more capacity than this one had. And then
Mm.
another ship comes up. So I'm like, let me go ahead and try and do the targeting and see how it works, whatever. So another ship comes up. It's called a raccoon or whatever the name of that ship.
Yeah, Spacer Raccoon.
Yeah, Spacer Raccoon. So I ended up, shooting out their engines and taking out their guns and stuff, and I was able to actually dock with that ship, and I
Yep.
was able to actually take that ship too. So,
Yeah.
it was like almost like back to back. I was able to commandeer 2, 2 different ships, and that was actually pretty funny too, you know? And it took me a while to realize too, when you get on some of these ships, there's actually not only do they have, you gotta check their cargo, but check their
Mhm.
cargo, and you could also need to check the captain's locker, because the captain's
Yep.
locker can have a couple thousand credits in there too, so that's something
That's
else you gotta
right.
do. So,
That's
but
right.
yeah, yeah, same for me with Starfield, I have to only play it when I know I have time to play, you know?
It's the only time you can, bro.
Yeah.
It's the only time you can. If I feel like I don't have enough, if I don't have at least 3 hours,
Mhm.
I won't bother with it, man. It just I won't
Exactly.
bother with it.
Exactly, because it 3 hours goes fast. Like today,
Yeah, man.
I wanted to play it before we recorded today, but I didn't
Mhm.
wanna miss time, so I just went ahead and cleaned up around the house and, like, cleaned my garage and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
no, no,
I
no. I get that.
I'm gonna do something productive instead of sitting there and playing," you know? And,
Yeah.
I've gotta go to do something this afternoon, so I probably won't play it till, like, later on tonight or tomorrow. So,
Mhm.
just because of how much time it takes, so
It's just
it
too much time, bro.
oh,
Too much
definitely,
time. Like
definitely.
yesterday, I had to focus on cleaning because I got off work early,
Mhm,
and I was gonna jump on yesterday, but I was like, nah, nah. Let me just take care of all this stuff from the holidays because we
mhm.
had family over and all that good stuff. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So, it's funny too because, yesterday, I decided to go ahead and play, and I think I started playing at, like, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something like that, and I told myself I
mhm.
was gonna get off at 11 o'clock. I did not turn that game off until, like, 11:45, almost midnight.
Yeah, man.
So, it's just that happens too much to me, so I try, like I said, I put it off until I know for a fact I have time left over, you know?
Hmm.
Anyway. So, we're getting closer to time to wrapping it up here, but, are there any games that you're looking forward to for the new year?
Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2. Okay. Imma
Hmm.
have to look at that check that trailer out. I'm gonna check that trailer out when I can. Um,
Well,
so
Hellblade is something that if you played the original,
mhm,
if you played the original, in order to understand Hellblade, you will have to like watch a YouTube video on the original,
okay.
or either if you have Game Pass, they got it on Game Pass. You can download it for free.
Mhm.
And pop on some headphones because I'm trying to tell you that game is on another level.
Okay.
When it comes to psychosis, and it's in medieval time, and she has a sword and with all
Mhm.
the Nord mythology and stuff like that. You know, I'm sorry, I said Nord, I meant Norse.
North, yeah.
Mythology.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what it's based off of. But uh, that game blew me away how good it was, and it was believe it or not, it was only a million. Well, it took what about $1 million to make that game.
Mhm.
And it was a very small studio, Ninja Theory. So when I first played it, I was like, because it was on PlayStation and PC first,
Mhm.
and then it went to Xbox. And I mean, the studio is so talented that Microsoft, Xbox, they ended up buying them
Okay.
and gave them more resources to make Hellblade 2. So I'm really, really anticipating that game.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check out a video on it and see, I probably won't actually check out the game necessarily, only because I've got those 2 games, Starfield and Baldur's Gate to finish, and
Too many,
by the time
man.
those 2 come out, I know it's only 2 games, um, but by the time those 2 I finish up with those 2, and I gotta also add in that I ended up buying, Modern Warfare 3 so I can get some gaming time in with my brother, even though that
Exactly.
game is one of the worst. It was rated one of the worst games of 2023. Did you see that?
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
is
but
hilarious.
here's the thing: it's rated the worst, but has the most. It has the most sales.
Mhm.
You're not gonna be able to stop it. It's like it's crazy. Like no matter how bad that game is rated, it's still gonna sell. It's like Got people just love that game.
That's the juggernaut. That's Call of Duty. Call of Duty is its own
Yeah.
juggernaut, you know?
Mm,
But, so I've got those 3 games to play. I haven't even had a chance to actually play with my brother. The other day, I told him hit me up when he gets a chance to play, and we never got connected. So I'm gonna try and hit him up maybe Sunday and see if he got some time to play. And
mm,
then we can actually get some gaming time together. But the thing about Call of Duty is when I play with my family, that's another. I need to have like a 3 hour block of time where I don't have to worry about that, you know. So
mm,
but but the next game I'm looking forward to coming out February, I forgot what day, February something. But it's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Have you seen the
I
commercials
heard.
for that?
Yep, yep. I saw it.
Man,
Yep,
I've gotta get that
yep.
game.
I,
So it
I was gonna
looks.
talk.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna ask you about that game, man.
Yeah.
I said, hey man, have you heard about that game? And I know you heard
Yeah, man.
about
Yeah.
it.
So just looking at some of the stuff, it basically looks like um Gotham Knights, but a different story, of course, because the
Mhm,
Suicide Squad, with Deadshot, Harley, King Shark. I said King Shark, but I might have said that wrong. But uh Boomerang, Captain Boomerang, and a couple other people. I forgot everybody who's in the Suicide Squad in that version of the Suicide Squad. But
mhm,
all of them are going after the Justice League. And apparently, I want to know the story of why the Justice League turned bad. That Task Force
mhm,
X had to be sent after them. So
mhm.
I can't wait for that to find out. Um, but that game is the next one on my list that I definitely want to get, and I'm really excited about that game just because of the whole gameplay with the Suicide Squad and everything. So yeah, and also speaking of that, I ended up getting this book for Christmas, DC Dark Knights Death Metal Deluxe Edition. Um, so this is also goes into that story. Remember me talking about the Batman Who Laughs and talking about the whole dark multiverse? Yeah, so that goes into that story as well. So that's like I'm gonna be surrounded with DC materials soon, pretty soon, because I've actually got that one for Christmas and I bought a different one. So I can't wait to actually, dive into that, but I've got to carve out the different times for all of those so I can actually, have some time to actually give each one of, their proper attention and everything. So, yeah.
Question though, have you heard about the Blade game?
Blade, like Daywalker Blade?
Blade, yeah,
No.
Daywalker Blade. Okay, so at the Game Awards,
Mhm.
they show like clips of games that's coming out,
Mhm.
and that was one of those clips. So when Marvel first popped up on the screen, I'm thinking like, oh, it's another PlayStation Marvel game because they already got Wolverine coming out, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that, but it didn't say PlayStation, so I'm like, okay, so what is this? And it
Mhm.
showed like a backdrop to the city, and then I was like, hmm, this
Yeah.
this looks a little familiar. And then it showed Blade like in the barber. It showed the barber, and Blade in the barber chair. I was like,
Yeah.
is that Blade? you know? And there's the cutscene shows hey man, the guy ends up cutting himself on the razor,
Mhm.
and Blade says, hey, don't worry, man, I don't bite.
I see that. It looks like it's coming out in 2025.
Yeah,
Yeah, and,
yeah.
there was one that was already out, though. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah, Marvel's Blade, the Game Awards 2023. That's gonna be dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check this trailer out when I get a chance,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. When you get a chance, check it out. Crazy.
yeah. Wow, that's just nuts, man. That's nuts. I didn't even know anything about it, man. Thanks for telling me. I gotta
Yeah.
check that out. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, though, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Sorry, the last two, were just single episodes. We didn't do double episodes. We only had one November, one in December. January we may have two, but it's still the holidays and everything's gonna be ramping back up. So we probably won't be starting two episodes again until February-ish times. Once we can actually get out of the holiday season and kind of get our lives back to normal again. So but just be looking out
Hmm.
for that our next episode in January, and then um, we're gonna keep going on with some more episodes. don't panic if you don't see an episode from us. There may be something going on. I'll try to update everyone on our Instagram page. Told my wife podcast. I'll also try to update Facebook. I told my wife I'm paying bills. Um, Before we sign off, I did want to actually give a shout out to everyone. I don't know if you downloaded the episodes, you notice we've got a new logo. Um, that was actually done by J Tech Studios. I said it wrong, and I'm sorry. At J Tech Studios on Instagram. Check them out. They actually do some really good work if you're looking for a commission. I mean, looking for them to commission something, but they actually did really good.
Mhm.
And actually, if you look at it, it looked like I was asking you a question, and it looked like you actually said, "I told my wife I'm paying bills." Kind of like that's the way it looks like. It looks like we're talking about it, and we actually said that like like we were gaming. So I really like the way they
Mhm.
actually did that. That was really dope. I kind of gave him free reign. I told him the way things go, and the way our podcast is, and I told them what's about, and they actually did the work for us, and that was really dope. So appreciate it at J Tech Studios. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm working on some other things to try to get us out there more and see everything. But if you're listening to this and you know somebody who's into games, go ahead and share our podcast. Just tell them, send them our link. We also have you could we can be reached on a couple different platforms, but we have a link tree on our Instagram page. So just check it out, and that can tell you other places to find us. So, Black, you got anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Uh, just 2024 is coming up. Looking forward to keeping this thing going. For all the viewers, we appreciate you guys uh, viewing our content. Like Chris says, man, please just leave a comment or something you'd like us to do. Anything you'd like us to talk about. Leave a comment. We appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, definitely we do have a couple things coming up, so if you want to hear something, like he said, email us. I told my wife podcast at gmail.com. Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. Kind of reach out. Let us know what's up. We're gonna talk we're gonna get into Gears 4 and 5. We're gonna finish 3. And like you said, we
Mhm.
definitely want to go ahead and do 4 and 5 so we can go ahead and talk about that. Um, we did want to talk about G.I. Joe because there's the cartoon and the movies. I got to try to find the
Yep.
cartoon somewhere. Right now, everywhere is looking at pay sites, or it's like kind of a janky site that I don't trust. So I'm gonna try to
Right.
find it. So if I find it, the cartoon, I'll let you know so you can actually watch it too. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, we got GI Joe coming up. I'm gonna talk about Thundercats a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of nostalgia stuff. We're gonna also talk about movies. Soon I'm gonna go see Aquaman. So I know that's like not on everybody's radar because people are burnt out on superhero movies. I still love them. But I get it. I understand. So anyway. But either way, we wanted to thank y'all for reaching out, and just want to say thank you again for a great year, and we're looking forward to 2024 to see what actually comes up. I got some other things also, and some Comic Cons to go to. I'm gonna try and see if I can get Black to go to a Comic Con in May. So hopefully we can do that.
Mhm.
So, all right.
Yep.
But until then, at Told My Wife Podcast on Instagram, I Told My Wife I'm Paying Bills on Facebook, and Told My Wife Podcast at gmail.com. Like and subscribe, send this to us. I'm going to try and get us some other stuff going on. But until then, I'm Slim,
And I'm Black.
and we wanted to say thank you for listening and have a happy new year and happy holidays to everyone. Thanks again.